Welcome to this podcast called Unveiling Her Story, Conversations with a Goddess. I am your host, Julia, and I'm a visionary, mom, wife, mentor, tantrika, truth seeker, creator of more than 5 million euros in sales, and owner of this amazing coaching business since 2017. With my brand, Julia Spiritual Living and the Luxury Goddess, and this podcast, I support you in exploring your womanhood, your femininity, your real feminine force, in a way that leads you to becoming who you came here to be, to fulfill your soul's purpose, be a sovereign human being, and become free, alive, and blissed out. In this podcast, we're going to poke this matrix and dismantle history to shine light on her story, our story, to explore union and peace inside and out. How else will we operate beyond what we are told and build our reality anew, the feminine way? Let's peek behind the curtain and play beyond this matrix to find out how freaking exciting it is to co-create your reality as the powerful woman you came here to be. Welcome to a new episode on Unveiling Her Story, Conversations with the Goddess. Today, I want to talk about something super practical, something that is so relevant for all of us and that goes hand in hand with her story and the suppression of the feminine energy and how we can shift that. I'm currently sitting in a house by the river on our jungle mountain. So maybe you're hearing the river, maybe you're hearing the birds. So just so you know, in this beautiful open scenery, I just love recording these podcasts. So if you listen to any of those, it's nothing technical. It's just nature. So let that nourish you. All right, well, let's dive right in. When I think about that, this is still the beginning of this podcast and I feel into her story and unveiling her story, it goes always back to me personally to the suppression of the feminine. In my opinion, in my research, in my feeling, this has been thousands of years ago. This has been long ago that the feminine has been suppressed. And when I say the feminine, it's really about life force energy, about that which flows, about freedom, free energy, liberated energy, liberation, free energy, free flowing energy. Because when I think back into what happened, there was some sort of experiment, some sort of descension of the earth that was already in higher realms in 5D plus, looking at Atlantis, Avalon, Sumera, I don't know how you say in English, but in German we say Sumera. Anyway, the times of higher consciousness on earth. And something happened, right? Something happened that descended the earth into the 3D realm and also downgraded our DNA and or, the realms here, moving into a patriarchy, moving into control, into a system that controls and that works with fear. That is fear-based, right? That says, fear this and, there is separation and here's the solution. So overall, we have this, not even, masculine energy and integrity, but rather the wounded masculine energy, right? Like the controlling, abusive energy. And so we're lacking the masculine energy and integrity, but we're also lacking the feminine overall, right? We're lacking all the feminine energy. And when I say feminine energy, I mean all of it for men and women. I mean the life force energy. I mean that we know how to surrender, that we know how to trust, that we know how to nourish ourselves, that we know how to think inclusive, we're all on the circle, we're all one, that we're thinking expression and healing and welcoming in darkness and going deep into the all and understanding we're welcoming it all. We're not just going into the light, we're rather going into the darkness but, shining light into the darkness, embracing the darkness, and really understanding it's really just needing space to be seen, and therefore it can be brought back to love. It can be transformed back to love. So when I feel into that, there's all these layers of invoking feminine energy in all of us. Now, I see many layers of this. We can look at, only women, right? So because we have a feminine core as women, so we can look at, how can we be feminine again? And that is a lot about the archetype Mary Magdalene to me. That is a lot about learning needs, learning boundaries, being connected to your body, to yourself, being able to express what you need, daring to, stand up for yourself and get what you need, unlearning people pleasing and codependency and trauma bonding, all those things, all those layers for women, and really becoming this magnetic muse, this magnetic woman, Mary Magdalene, instead of the moaning mother archetype that's wounded, that's just sacrificing herself. So that's really what our task is, our unlearning, our remembering as women. And when I look at as women as well, I see that a lot of the women that I serve and that I've worked with, and of course that has been my own path, that's why I've been in resonance with the women like that, we learned to be so serious, and everything is so complicated and so hard. First work, and then, we can play, and it's all hard and complicated, and it's work, and it's serious. Everything is serious. So even when we all awaken to the fact that we're spiritual beings and have a spiritual awakening of our own kind, of our own experience, of our own understanding, we make it serious. We make it something that we add to our to-do list that are already way too long. We make it something that is something that we need to work through. And we say this too, right? This is even you saying, I have to work on this. I have to let go of this. Oh no, why is this showing up again? I thought I had integrated this. And we're really realizing how much we're putting ourselves in the box again, even with our spiritual awakening, even in personal development. So anything that we kind of understand or find out about, have a breakthrough with, we still put that in a box. We still put ourselves in a box with that. So apart from really the big shift from the moaning mother into the magnetic muse, into Mary Magdalene, into who we came here to be in polarity as women, we have to unlearn the biggest piece of it's all complicated, serious, I'm the victim, like that kind of energy. Now, when I look at that, it's life force energy. If we make that switch to we're on Earth to play, this is all a simulation, it's all a movie, and you direct yours, you make it all up, like you co-create your own thing, then what is the difference between those both scenarios? What is the difference? And the difference is the fire inside. It's the maiden energy. It's the archetype of the maiden, the childlike energy of let me explore, let me have fun. It's not that serious. I can't do it wrong. It's all right anyway, because what is the goal? The goal isn't to get it all right, at least not in my opinion, at all. It's never about getting it right because you can't get it wrong. It's all right because you're experiencing yourself. The goal to me is experiencing yourself. The goal is to have many, many experiences and find out if you can be on Earth and just, experience the possibilities here on Earth. And so for that, we need that inner fire. We need to invoke that inner fire. We need to remember that it gets to be easy, that it gets to be fun, and that in fact it is, and that it's all a choice. And again, that never, when I say it's a choice, I never mean bypassing, I never mean overriding feeling, I never mean making your own feelings, because that is all, to me, it's all violence. It's all wanting to change what is, and what is perfect. It's about acknowledging what is, but rather understanding that more than acknowledging is making it a story, making it mean something. And in that moment, you're already using violence, only in another way, because you're saying, because of that, I cannot. You're claiming a narrative that then you co-create. So what we want to do is acknowledge any kind of feeling, but we don't want to go into the wounded masculine of overriding and bypassing and avoiding. But we also don't want to go into the wounded feminine of playing the victim, choosing a narrative again where you're the victim and making it mean that you can't do something. So we just give space to what is. And in that, we remember we're here to play. So how would you go through your day if it's all to have fun? How would you choose to experience whatever you experience in a day when it's all about your sensual experience? How can you make it more easeful to you? How is it more easy? How can you relax into your day? How can you learn to enjoy and appreciate each moment much more? Because that is where you're alive. So the focus is here. It is on the maiden energy. It's about a childlike perspective to life, wanting to explore it, understanding that your life is more successful and that, the purpose of this life for you is to experience and expand and just really, experience everything you can here and let as much joy in as you can. And when you can't feel joy, you're just being present with what is and you're letting it move through you because it's all life force energy. So that is what I wanted to share with you today because that is one of the biggest things. And it's really that simple. We're making it so complicated. I have to work on this and that, joom, joom, joom. And yes, there's trauma in the body, which is stuck energy. And it's, again, life force energy that needs to be liberated. It comes down to that. It does come down to it. And one more thing that can really help you is the simplicity of in any moment, in every and any moment, you decide what you make what is mean. You decide what you make mean of what happens in the moment. And you always either make it mean the illusion, the scarcity, the separation, the fear, so the illusion of what it actually is, or you make it mean the truth. And the truth is just what is. And the illusion would be, it means scarcity, it means separation, it means fear, it means I can't, I don't have it, I shouldn't, I need to bypass it, that too. Any kind of the wounded feminine, wounded masculine, doesn't matter, any of it, all of it too, all of it is the illusion. Because the truth of this reality is that you are love and that you are experiencing yourself and that it doesn't mean anything. Just what you make it mean. But if you make it mean something limiting to you, you make it mean an illusion and you can do that. But if it's limiting you, why would you? Because you're conditioned that way, because we're programmed that way, because of trauma, because yes, I understand why. But I mean, why would you continue doing it if you know it doesn't help, right? You would work on integrating your trauma. You would work on nervous system regulation. But you wouldn't want to focus on your trauma because, again, you would make it mean it's the truth, but it's not. It's just stuck energy. It's not the truth about you. The truth about you is that you are love. So that in and of itself is another tool that you can practice with because you would just in any moment ask, is this scarcity or is this abundance, the truth of abundance? Is this the illusion of separation? Is it the truth of unity? Is it the illusion of fear? Is it the truth of love? Is it any sort of illusion? Am I making it a narrative where I'm the murderer, the victim, the whatever? Or is it the truth of it just is? I'm experiencing myself. I'm growing. I'm expanding into the possibilities of experiencing myself. That's it. So this is what I wanted to share with you today because to me, that's what it comes down to. Now we can use any kind of tool here. We can use human design, astrology, breath work, yoga, none of it. You could go bowling, it doesn't matter. Like literally it doesn't matter. We learn different skills for this. And in my opinion, nervous system regulation is a great tool. Knowing your human design or astrology is a great tool. Knowing tools like breath work that really liberate energy are great tools. Knowing, like self-pleasure sessions, feminine practices that really free up energy and that let you experience pleasure are great tools. Learning conflictability, communication skills, unlearning people pleasing. These are great tools to me because they instantly liberate. But there's nothing you have to do. Anything can bring you there if you stay present, if you remember the truth and don't choose the illusion. If you remember to go through your day with the maiden energy and with the goal of just, experiencing yourself more. It's never about the goal, the tool. It isn't. It's just, I share what works for me. Other coaches share what works for them, and you pick what's good for you. But if you make it your to-do list and another thing that you just have to cross off and work hard for, you're operating inside the illusion. And with that, you're never going to be you're not going to experience the truth, which is that you're already whole, you're already holy, you're already worthy, you're already complete. You already have everything that you need to enjoy yourself. Just maybe you just don't know how, you don't have the resource of regulating yourself, or you forgot that you just have everything inside, or you think having everything inside means you should be happy right now, right? So it's about the interpretations, or what you make it mean. Again, it's what you make it mean when someone says you have everything inside you need. Well, then I would be happy, so something must be wrong with me. Again, that's the interpretation of it, but that's the illusion, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you today, so that you can practice, so that you can remember, so that you can remind yourself in those moments of the truth. It's the inner fire, it's feminine force, life force energy. And the great thing is sexual energy is life force energy. Feminine force, sexual force, life force. It is all that which we free up, which we don't suppress, we don't avoid, we don't bypass. We just let it flow. We let it be. We don't make it mean something complicated or sad or mean. If it feels sad, we feel that, but we don't make it mean anything. And through that, we find ease. Through that, we find into experiencing ourselves, that which I call the purpose, which is expanding into this experience and all the ways you could and can experience in it. So practice, enjoy, have fun with this. I hope this served you, and I'll catch you next time. That was today's episode of Unveiling Her Story, Conversations with the Goddess. I hope this episode and the whole podcast serves you. And if it does, I invite you to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or rank the podcast 5 stars on whatever platform you listen. And or subscribe, comment, or share. Whatever feels right to you, so we can let all the women, all the truth seekers, tantrikas, priestesses know that this podcast is here to serve and support them as well. You can find information about current offers in the show notes. And if you have any questions, just shoot us an email to info@juliasspiritualliving.com. Connect with me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find links and social media handles in the show notes as well. Thank you from one woman to another. I deeply appreciate you seeking pleasure in this life and rising for you, your immediate surrounding, and for this whole world that we are co-creating. I'm so looking forward to our next encounter. Yours, Julia.